Hey basketball coaches, today I'm going to give you some different options for 3 out, 2 in, pass and cut basketball plays. So basically, this is a very easy basketball play and there's so many different options and you can make it really as difficult as you would like. So I'm going to show you a couple of different options. Let's get down to the clipboard, let's check these out. But really quick, if you've got yourself or any players who like this shirt, go check out the merch down below. That will help support this channel. Anyways, let's get down to the clipboard, let's check out these plays. Okay, so in this first option, we can have player 1 pass over to player 2. Now player 1 will cut towards the rim, and then he's going to pop out, and player 5 is going to set a screen for player 1. Now, if player 1 is open for that shot, this whole play is to open up 3-point shots for us. So, if player 2 is able to get player 1 open, then player 1 could have that shot. But let's say player 1 ended up not being open. When player 2 passes that ball to player 1, I want player 5 to pop up and to set that screen for player 2. Player 2 is going to then cut through if he's open. So if player 2 is open in this area, then we want player 1 to pass player 2 the ball for that layup. However, he's going to continue through, and now we're going to have player 4 show over towards this side. Now, what we're going to have is player 5 popping out, and player 1 is going to reverse that ball to player 5. Now, player 1 passed that ball, so what's going to happen is player 3, he's going to be then popping up towards the point, and player 1 is going to be cutting the baseline. He's going to be using player 4 as well as player 2 as a screen. Player 1 is going to be popping up to the free throw line extended, and that's where player 5 is going to pass to player 3, and we're going to reverse the ball along the perimeter, and now player 1 could take that shot. Now, if he's not open to take that shot, I want to see player 5 cut down, and he's going to be then setting up in that low corner. If he's able to be open, so if player 2 set a really good strong screen and he's open, definitely look at him as an option for a 3-point shot. At the same time, we want to have player 3, because he also passed, I want to see him now, because we've reversed this ball. If we've still got to this point in time where he passed that ball and we haven't taken a shot yet, what I want to see happen is player 2 set a screen up for player 3. Player 3 is then going to cut towards the rim. If he's open, I want to see a layup from player 3. Now player 4 is going to be setting up a screen, and player 2 is going to be popping up. Player 1 is going to pass over to player 2. Player 3 is going to be using player 4 as a screen. Player 2 is going to pass over to player 3, and we could be possibly open for a 3-point shot as well. Meanwhile, player 5 is going to be going back into that low post. And then you can keep on cycling this play around. This also works extremely well against zone defenses. The reason why this works ridiculously well against zones is because when you're swinging the ball around the perimeter and having players cut down through the key, you're going to be collapsing the zone, and then when you're passing it around the perimeter, you're going to be expanding the zone, which is opening up possibilities for us to drive and to hit the cutter with the ball. Now this next play is a 3 out, 2 in overload offense. So this is going to be what you use against most zone defenses. So right now we're going up against a 2-3 zone. By running a 3-out offense, we're going to be having this zone play a bit higher because they will be trapping up top. Now I want to see player 1 pass over to player 3, and I want to see him cut down the key. This is now going to be shifting the defense over just like this. And with player 1 cutting down, I want to see him cut down towards the elbow and then towards the rim. The reason why is because now once he hits that elbow, if he's open to hit that pass, I want him still in the ability or in the momentum to attack that rim to collapse those last 2 players, and he can dish off one to one of those 2. Now, if he's not open and player 5, let's say, disrupted that pass, I want him to go out towards this low corner, and I want player 5 to go up into that high post and player 2 to come up at that key extended. Now, what's going to happen is I want to see that ball go to the high post. The high post will most likely be open all the time, And what's going to happen here is that's going to be bringing player 5 up. If it doesn't bring player 5 up, it'll bring player 3 in, which will be a 3-point shot for player 1. Or if it brings player 2 in, it'll be a 3-point shot for player 3. It's a nice simple play, and you can run it as a motion as well. And how you would run it as a motion is to pass the ball over to player 2. That's going to shift the defense. Now I'm going to have player 1. He's going to be using player 4 as a screen if he needs to, and he's going to be popping up on this side. At this time, player 2 is going to pass over to player 1. Of course, if he's open, he can hit that shot. I want to see player 4 and 5 both move over, but before player 5 moves over, once this pass goes through, I want to see it cut down towards that low corner, but first I want to see him going across that elbow. The reason why I want to see him go across that elbow is because if player 1 can pass him the ball, that could lift up that player 5, in which case player 2 could have a couple of possibilities for layups. However, if he's not a possibility, player 2 will continue out, player 5 will go to the high post, and then now player 3 goes up to that key extended, and again we have that overload on top of that left side. Now these are great plays to run with your team. There's also really great simple 3-out, 2-in offenses that you can run as well. Let me show you really quick that one. So we have a 3-out, 2-in. Player 1 passes over to player 2. Player 4 comes up and sets that screen. Player 1 cuts. He could be open for a layup. If he is not, he's going to stay in the low post. Player 4 is going to pop up. He's going to pass over to player 4. Player 4 is going to pass over to player 3. We're going to have player 5 set a screen on player 4. Player 4 is going to cut. If he's open, give him a layup. Even if he's not open and player 1 comes over for help, he can make an extra pass for a layup, so keep that in mind. If he's not open, he's going to stay in the low post. And then player 5, he's going to pop up. Player 5 is going to receive that ball, and then he can pass over to player 2. Now, if you find that these two players are stagnant and you're running this play through maybe 2 or 3 rotations on each side, what I want to see done is the player up top, once he notices that we've gone from one side to the other and now we're going back, we're probably getting really close to the end of the shot clock. And what I want it done is one of 2 things. I want to see screen down or screen up. I want him to scream that. Screen down or screen up. If he says screen down, these 2 players will screen down. If he says screen up, these 2 players will screen up. And now what we're looking for in this case is player 3 driving, or cutting and player 2 cutting, and he can set those passes up. However, if he says screen down, player 3 and 2 will be screening down, 1 and 4 will be popping up, and one of those 2 players needs to take that shot quickly. So that's if we're getting close to the end of the shot clock. That last play is super simple that you can run with pretty well any age of basketball team. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.